YouTube! What's going on, guys? Welcome to the GCap Recap. I'm GCap. Hopefully you all had an awesome Memorial Day weekend. I certainly did, and I wanted to just do a quick video in response to the tag from 3 from the Grave. So I'm just going to get right into it. What is one movie you would show a non-horror fan to get them into horror, or at least try to get them into horror? I can only speak from experience that I've been successful at this a couple of times when trying to do this. I've converted some non-horror fans into being horror fans by showing them Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. Now, it's one of my favorite movies, so it's a bonus for me to show this to them. There's a horror element to it, a comedy element, there's gore, there's ridiculousness. So, I mean, if you kind of touch on like one of those like 4 points, you could usually bring them into the horror genre. At least that's what I've learned. Question 2, what is a surprising horror guilty pleasure that most people who know you might not know you really like? I mean, people that know me know I have many horror guilty pleasures, but the one that most people might be surprised that I really do hold dear for some reason is Slumber Party Massacre 2. Yeah, guys, let me hear it. I know. Yeah, I know. Listen, is a weird plot. It has nothing like the first one at all. Beautiful women, over the top villain, very Nightmare on Elm Street-esque kind of plot, and the cinematography I think is pretty good. Like, the director, she uses a lot of great camera angles. There's an ambiguous ending, which, kind of confuses what you've been watching the whole time. But for some reason, like I said, I do watch this every single year, at least once a year. And because thankfully it's been on Prime. If they take it off, I'm in trouble. I used to have this on VHS when I was much younger. If I was a gazillionaire with expendable income, I would go to eBay right now and get that used Blu-ray that's available for $850 or $900 or something obscene, because I totally missed out a couple years ago when the Scream Factory release. So now I'm SOL. Question 3, who is an underrated performer that you would tell people about to keep an eye on next time for a film to really pay attention to that person? The person who always comes to my mind, unfortunately he's passed and he's no longer with us, is Miguel Ferrer. I think he's just absolutely amazing in every movie he's in. He plays a swarmy dick so well. I think maybe he's only played a lead role in a lead role one time, and he was actually a good guy, but he was still kind of swarmy. Was in the Stephen King adaptation of The Night Flyer. That went straight to video. Not many people have seen it. The movie's not very good, but he's great. He totally is the reason I made it all the way through, checking out that movie, because he's always just has such a great screen presence. He's one of my favorite characters in Twin Peaks. Like, I love Twin Peaks, but his character, Albert, is awesome. One of my favorites. For the 30 seconds or so that he's in the Twin Peaks movie Fire Walk with Me, he has a couple of really funny lines, memorable lines in that as well. And he was one of the few very shining spots in the 3rd season of Twin Peaks in 2017, which unfortunately was the last thing he filmed. So rest in peace, Miguel Ferrer. And yeah, definitely, I think he's a very underrated actor. His father's a famous actor too, Jose Ferrer, but Miguel, I mean, I guess because of my generation growing up watching him in RoboCop and Twin Peaks and countless of just places, he just winds up, all kinds of different TV series. His whole, he winds up, popping up on that I'm watching. Like if I go look at like some old stuff, it's just great. And he always stands out. You always know you're going to get a good performance out of him. Question 4, what is a movie that you enjoyed as a child that nowadays you watch it and you think it totally sucks? Well, unfortunately, I have to say that it's Invaders from Mars, the remake. So when I was a little kid, my dad took me to see it in the movie theater because, he liked the original Invaders from Mars. So, he was kind of excited to see a remake of it as well. I totally loved it, and I thought it was so cool and scary, and just I just thought everything was great about it. Well, I watched it maybe like a couple months ago, so this is how recent it is, and I haven't seen it in so long. I was so excited, and I was so disappointed. So Invaders from Mars, the 1986 remake, totally loved it as a kid. I totally think it sucks nowadays. Last question, if I could change the ending to one horror film, which one would it be? There's a lot of horror films I would like to change the ending to, but the one that really sticks out to me is the Dawn of the Dead remake. It's my favorite movie that Zack Snyder has done still to this day. I love that movie. It's my second favorite remake. And, you know, I just grew such an attachment to the characters. All the characters I didn't like had seemed to be, you know, tossed aside. And, you know, they went through this huge ordeal and they finally make it to the boat and they finally get to the island and they're overrun by zombies and killed. So I don't know, it was just something about the way that the story played out, you know, and Snyder really had me liking these characters. And just for them to get overrun, it was just such a letdown. I wish a little bit better outcome for those characters because I really did enjoy them. Hopefully you enjoyed my responses. This was a lot of fun, so I'm really glad I got some time to do this. And I want to thank Three from the Grave for doing this tag, for tagging everybody. I just wanted to join along. I thought these were really, really great questions. I appreciate everybody watching. If you haven't yet, I invite you to click on the subscribe button and then click on the bell for notifications for future videos. And you can leave a comment below. This has been pretty fun. I've been watching everybody's videos, so it's kind of got me pumped up. But I'd like to truly, truly hear the answers to your questions as well. I want to keep this thing going. I also invite you to shoot me a thumbs up if you did like the video. Would much appreciate it. And also, if you want to connect with me on my everyday activities on social media, I invite you to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at GCapRecap. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of great things on the channel this summer. I'm going to be mixing it up, doing different things. You know, right now I do reviews of old movies, new movies. I share my Blu-ray, DVD purchases. I'm doing things like this. And like I said, I have other plans for some other things I'm going to be doing here on the GCap Recap that I would love for you to check out. And as I always say to close out my videos, anytime you watch the GCap Recap, you always have a seat at my bar. Hopefully I'll see you again, guys. Take care. Sit, Koopy, sit. Good dog.